I don't think I've ever seen a trade become a disaster in such a short period of time like I've seen from this Luka Doncic trade. Because my goodness, we are 1 month removed from this trade, and it has ended terribly. I mean, you look at the quotes about Luka Doncic. Oh, he can't stay in playing shape. People arguing that Anthony Davis can be a number one option. That him and Kyrie will figure it out. Or Kyrie Irving tears his ACL last night. But let's just go back. The first game that Anthony Davis plays, what happens? He gets hurt in the third quarter. Hasn't played since. Daniel Gafford, a few weeks later, he gets hurt as well. Now you have no front court because Lively has to get back as well. Then you look at Kyrie Irving. We just talked about it. He tears his ACL. Here's the worst part about that situation. It might take Kyrie Irving over a year to get back in full game shape. So we're looking at really an entire season lost. You have to build chemistry with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. Let's not forget the Lakers are probably going to get better. So is the rest of the league. And you're hoping that AD and Kyrie, by the time we get to 2026 of the fall, are going to somehow win a championship together. I mean, that would be a great story, but I don't see that happening. And we're also assuming that they can play together. We're also assuming that Anthony Davis or Klay Thompson won't request a trade. We're also assuming that Kyrie Irving isn't going to leave when he's a free agent in 2026. Because here's the thing that isn't being talked about enough, the contract extension. Kyrie Irving can go to Dallas this offseason and say, you know what? Why don't you pay me a 5-year, $313 million extension this offseason? Because he'd be eligible for it. And if Dallas says, you know what? No, we don't want to do that because of your injury. Now you have a situation where things are going to get tense, they're going to clash, and Kyrie might just walk and you get nothing in return. Here's the worst part about that. They have no draft pick, or I should say no control over their draft picks from 2027 until 2030. So imagine you're watching teams like the Thunder get better, of course the Lakers, and you're just a bottom feeding team and you can't develop any type of talent. That is nuts to me. So here's what I think is going to happen in Dallas. And I feel for Dallas fans because this has turned into a situation which should have never happened. He didn't need to move off Luka Doncic. He didn't need to do any of that. I mean, you look at, what the Mavericks have built. You had Dirk Nowitzki, beloved by Dallas. It took them a while to win the championship, but they appreciated Dirk's journey. And then you transitioned from Dirk to Luka Doncic. And yes, Luka had his issues on defense, but fans thought, okay, eventually we're going to win with Luka. He got us to 2 Western Conference Finals. He got to an NBA Finals last year. With more experience in those moments, Luka will figure it out and overcome his deficiencies, and he'll get us an NBA championship. The fans were buying his jerseys. They were supporting the Dallas Mavericks. There was a love for Dallas Mavericks basketball. But you know what they say when you make a decision that just backfires you for the next 5 to 10 years? These are those kind of decisions you don't make. And man, Nico Harrison, if I'm him right now, I don't think there's enough security to protect me from what's going to happen. I'm not saying people are going to assault him. I'm just saying this man needs to think about quitting as a GM, in my opinion, because this is really bad in Dallas. And it's only going to get worse. The fan base is just fed up with it. They're probably, angry like never before. And I would be angry if I'm a Dallas fan, seeing how everything just turned upside down in 1 month. Just think about that. You watch your favorite player get drafted to your franchise, and then a month later, everything has spiraled out of control. I think how quickly everything has happened during that timeline for these fans. And yikes, it's a sad day because Kyrie was playing at an all-NBA level. I thought, in my opinion, he should have been in the starting point guard over Steph Curry. I get why they picked Steph because the All-Star game was in his building. But at the same time, Kyrie has been playing better than Steph Curry this season. So it's just sad for Dallas because they're just going through so much. Hopefully, at some point, things will get better before it gets even worse. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think at some point, Dallas might have to look at trading guys like Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie just to get some draft capital. Because if you can't draft anybody to rebuild your franchise, or I should say your roster, then you're just setting this franchise back, 10, 15 years, while Luka Doncic is in LA winning championships. The moment Luka wins a championship, and it could happen this season, man, if Luka wins a championship this season, oh my goodness. Nico might want to just fly somewhere to a secluded island and just never show his face again. Just don't show your face. But regardless, whenever Luka does it, because I think at some point the Lakers will break through. Maybe it doesn't happen this season. Maybe it will happen after LeBron retires and they find another second option for Luka. But whenever that day does come and the Lakers get that championship, or let's say Luka gets it somewhere else, it's going to be a humbling day for Nico Harrison because my goodness, it's looking really bad for him. And I just hope Kyrie can get better. I mean, he's been so good in Dallas, and I know some people had questions. I had question marks about him after he left Boston, the way he did things, because I'm a Celtics fan. But the way they treat him in Brooklyn, especially after the COVID situation and the situation where he had a retweet and people weren't going after Amazon for that movie, and they were just constantly attacking Kyrie. It was ludicrous, but the way he's rebuilt his image and has helped Dallas become relevant again. I know this is just a rough patch. It's not Kyrie's fault. He's been phenomenal. It's just tough to see because you want to see Kyrie go out there and ball out and see what he can do without Luka and play alongside AD, but we're not going to get that at all. Am I surprised by this situation where AD's hurt and not in the lineup? No, because I understand Anthony Davis has been healthy for the past 2 years, but you can't rely on him. He doesn't stay healthy enough, and that's just sad to even see. But at the same time, you don't just make this trade. It doesn't make sense. If you got some draft capital, maybe it's less of a blow. It's still a blow regardless because you gave up the next 10 years of your team to be competitive in the West for, somebody who is older in age. So you've put yourself in a situation where you say like, yeah, we want to win a championship sooner, but are we even going to see that version? Will we ever see Anthony Davis and Kyrie have a shot of building a championship contender? Nico Harrison has a long road ahead of him, and it's not looking pretty. So we shall see how this all turns out, but just devastating news for the NBA. You hate to see these type of injuries to a guy like Kyrie Irving, who has been really good at basketball, and he's been really good this year for the Mavericks, and really good ever since he came to Dallas. And getting that team and helping Luka to the NBA Finals. I know he didn't always play well against Boston, but hey, Kyrie's still a hooper. I love watching him on offense and hope he can get better and he's back to his regular self and he can close out his career on a high note. I really hope we see that from Kyrie Irving. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the news about Kyrie Irving. What are your thoughts and how do you feel as Dallas fans? I know you guys are really going through it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and I'll catch you in the next one.